Energy at 10, so Coach Rojas is going to be coming in here in a couple minutes. On the Pitch is coming up next with Coach Edward Rojas, as we'll break down everything St. Joe soccer. Coach, any final thoughts?
No, just come on, support the boys tomorrow and the girls. Come support our basketball teams. They're big games for both of us, so the boys keep asking for a crowd, so it'd be good if everybody comes out tomorrow and supports them.
I thought we had a good crowd on Saturday.
We did, and they said that
lively.
helped them.
For sure.
Shout out to Coach Starkey. He brought a lot of energy.
He texted me during the Laredo game.
Uh-huh.
He's like, hey, I'm tuning in, this and that. And so, I was filling him in, and I said, where are you at? We need the Coach Starkey animo.
Yeah.
And he just started laughing. So
Yeah, he I texted him, thank you for bringing the energy, and he texted me later on that he was tired from yelling so much. So we need some help for him too. So, we get some more students out there, hopefully.
Absolutely. We will see you guys next week. This has been Double Dribble with Coach Sammy Lucio. Up next, On the Pitch with Coach Edward Rojas.
Kenny Perez came from a small town in Texas. At Kenny Perez Law, we won't stop fighting until our clients get what's rightfully theirs. We're right by your side, no matter what. Call Kenny Perez Injury Lawyers today, 956-999-1111.
At Tortilleria Ibañez, flavor starts fresh every day. Crispy flautas, homemade tamales, and our signature chicken salad, all made for you. Tortilleria Ibañez, tradition on every plate.
Hello sports fans, I'm Jason Starkey with Gallery Homes.
Here at Gallery, we make building your new home simple and stress-free. From sales to selections, we handle every step so you can enjoy the journey to your new home. This is Gallery, where your dreams become reality.
Good morning, and we are back for our second show as a part of our double header. This is On the Pitch with Coach Edward Rojas. We just wrapped up Double Dribble with Coach Sammy Lucio. Good morning, Coach.
Morning. Kevin.
We're your debut. Finally, we were talking about you finally made it to the Bloodhound Cafe. This is our home for all of our coaches shows, and we're excited to be here. We're excited to have you here in the Bloodhound Cafe. Starting a little bit earlier, there is a liturgy today on campus at 10 a.m. So we went ahead and just moved everything up an hour to accommodate with the liturgy schedule. So, Coach, how was your weekend?
Really good.
Good.
Yes, went to church
Absolutely.
with my family.
Absolutely.
Finally.
Yeah, it's some time to slow down just a
that's
little
good,
bit. Just time a little
But
bit.
it was really good. We ate a lot too, so it was a good weekend.
Good. Absolutely.
Had good.
So the Bloodhounds are coming off of a rough week on Saturday, or excuse me, on Friday. St. Joe lost on the road at Weslaco 2-0, and earlier in the week fell 4-1 against San Antonio Christian. The team's first loss in district play. Coach, let's recap the week and starting with the Westlaco game on Friday. A little bit of a short-handed team. Some guys a little nicked up with some
Yes.
injuries. I looked at Westlaco and I saw
Mhm.
some of their wins and I was like, oh, that's an impressive win. That's an impressive win. But 2-0 isn't that bad. I mean, I thought the kids played really well. Considering
Mhm.
we were short-handed.
Yes, and more than anything, most of the team that you saw, it was mostly freshmen. So I think they did pretty good their job on the defense part of it.
Mhm.
And also, like you said, Westlaco had beaten Hannah
Mhm.
7-0,
Yeah.
and we had lost to them 7-3. So I think it was a good experience and show for the boys too. Like the stadium was really nice.
Yeah.
Haven't been there
Yeah.
in a while, and I think they liked it. They liked their experience there.
Yeah, and you and I were talking before the game on Friday was that the team has a very rare chance to go play, at Sam Stadium twice, and then they got the opportunity to play at Bobby Lackey.
Yes.
So, but aside from the venue itself, but the on field, the experience is what these freshmen are getting. I think it's big for these freshmen to get these kinds of reps against a 6A school. Talk about how much that experience will help down the road for these young kids.
Well, it's gonna make them feel more comfortable, I think, down the road, and mainly for the years to come, 'cause they're gonna know who we're going against, right? It's not gonna be like word of mouth that they're really good and this and that. And I think that's what helps them the most. And like I told him, hey, things like this sometimes we lose, right? But I think we learn a lot, which is the best thing. And like you said, sometimes these teams, they're not as strong as the ones on our district, but they prepare us for the big games.
Absolutely. I thought defensively, Axel, he played a lot better.
Yeah.
On the attacks from Westlaco. I mean, it was just a late goal in the first half, and then a late goal in the second half. I mean, really, it was 1-0
Yeah.
for majority of the game. But we also had a lot of good shot on goals, I thought.
Yes, we had like a good build up, and then we would like counter attack, and we would do good. I think we just should have shot a little bit more from the part of the boys. But more than anything, I think Westlake also has a really good team. I think the coach was asking me, "Hey, how's Economides doing?" 'Cause they're gonna go against them soon in district. And I was like, "Hey, they're good."
Well, did
They're
you
really
see they won the Laredo tournament?
Yeah, the Laredo
went-
tournament,
they
I
went
saw that.
undefeated.
I saw that.
So
Yeah.
and when I saw that, I thought of us. I was like, hey, well, that shows that they're really really good.
Oh, yes.
They're very good. I think Lopez was there as well. I
Yes,
think they
Lopez.
fared well as well.
Yes.
And well, I mean, you and I were talking just the other night that the losses we have was Westlaco, could be a playoff team at a 31-6A 6A team. Lopez, who's
number one right now.
number one in the Valley, period,
Yes.
whether they're 5A or 6A,
Yes.
and probably will be in the region final. And then after that, you had Hannah, who's out of 32-6A, who's going to be competing for a playoff spot.
Yes.
And then you have Bronzeville Veterans.
Oh yeah, another one.
Another one out of 32-6A. So you play two
Yes.
32-6A
Yes.
teams. And usually around these parts is when you use the words 32-6A, everyone's kind of, ooh, because it's always a very impressive district.
Yeah.
In all sports, and veterans will most likely, in all likelihood, win that district. So
Yes.
when you look at the losses, they're
Mhm.
again Economides, right? So a team that will probably win that district out of 31-6A. They're good losses against
Yes.
very good teams.
Yes, more than anything, like you said, I think they're a high caliber teams, and I think those are the teams that we like to play. And like you always mention, that comment is that we're like the underdogs in the story.
For sure.
And I think sometimes it goes well, and sometimes it could go like it went, like 7-0, things like that. But I look at the good things, 'cause sometimes during the games we do really good things against them that we later do like in our district.
Right.
So like I feel like we just needed that loss maybe.
For sure, yeah,
it's
and
fine.
because at the end of the day, what matters is the district,
Yes.
right? And that's what this team is going to be measured on at the end of the year, whether they make the playoffs or not. But again, another good experience for these young guys, being able to go into Westlaco. Earlier in the week, it was a tough loss against San Antonio Christian, and that was kind of the build up for part one with these two teams. The current standings, you have Sacs 3-0, St. Mary's 3-0, and then we're right there in third at 2-1. So then you have Victoria, St. Joe, St. Anthony's, and then you have Laredo at the bottom half of the district. So a little bit of a different case from boys basketball, where they've just finished the first round. We're fixing to get to that point, and we still have 2 more district games before we get to the first round. But talk about San Antonio Christian, coach, and just how impressed were you with what they did on Tuesday?
No, they came to play more than anything. I think, like you said, it was a classic, and uh, for me, it was an experience. For me, finally to know who was X and things like that in our district, and we had the chances. I feel like we had the chances versus them, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's who scores them is gonna win, right? So I hats off to the coach. Nah, pretty good coach. Think we were talking before the game, and he was like, "Hey, I know how it went during your tournament."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, okay." So he watched film.
Which one, the Santa Maria
So
or
no,
the
Sex, the one from Sex.
Yeah, but which tournament did he watch? The
The
BS
Santa Maria,
Santa
yeah,
Maria one? Okay.
Santa Maria one. So he knew how we were coming from that. So he was watching film. Hopefully he's watching right now. We're gonna be watching tomorrow. They play versus St. Mary's home.
St. Mary's.
So that's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep tabs
Hopefully
on that
they
one.
they play at 7. So coach, we're gonna be watching.
That's gonna be an excellent game because
Yes.
it's us
Mhm.
and those 2 schools that are really gonna be headlining the district, and it was the same way last year. It was a
Mhm.
race to first last year with those 3 teams, and but San Antonio Christian, certainly they've improved.
Mhm.
I thought in my time here that's the best I've seen them.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, it's like.
We motivate
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit more.
And another thing too is that we've tend to always split with San
Mhm.
Antonio Christian. I think I've mentioned that to you before, where last year it was the same thing, where the road team
Mhm.
won the matchups. Only it was flipped. The first time we went up there and won.
Mhm.
Second time they came down here and won.
One.
So there's still a lot to be done. I thought going into the locker room at halftime, I thought we had the momentum.
Yes.
Essa got that goal,
Goal.
and so
Mhm.
you can educate me on this. Their keeper, he committed a penalty, right? He came out of the
Mhm.
box late in that first half.
No, he touched the ball outside.
He touched the ball
So
outside.
it was
Okay.
just a handball.
Okay. So then he
Yes.
had to come out,
Mhm.
right? And see,
Yeah. And
that-
the goalie, another goalie had to
you had to sub in for
yeah,
him.
sub
Yeah.
in. Yes,
Yes.
was
Yeah. Because
looking at
I saw he
that's
got penalized. He had to come out of the game. So right away I'm like, okay, here's a perfect opportunity for St.
Mhm.
Joe to take advantage
yes.
of the penalty, and we did.
Yes.
In that final minute, and I thought again, we had the momentum at halftime. Did you feel that same way?
Yes, because once we started the second half, we had in the first 30 seconds a build up, and then
Mhm.
a good cross from Abel and Mao
Mhm.
alone, and sadly went straight to the middle.
Yeah.
2 minutes after that, Camorlinga.
Uh-huh.
A little bit more after that, I think it was, I think Andres Cordero
Mhm.
or someone else, a header.
Mhm.
I was like, it just wouldn't go in.
Yeah.
So I was like, hopefully. But then
It's like that sometimes.
Yes.
Coach Sammy says the same thing. He's like, it's
Mhm.
basketball. Sometimes the basket just doesn't go in the hoop.
Yeah.
That's just the law of average. That's just how it
Mhm.
works in sports. But what was your message to the team at halftime?
At halftime, I told him that we had the momentum, like you said. I think we
Mhm.
had it on our field, on our half, and I told him, hey, it's our home, like
Mhm.
the home field, so they have to respect it a little bit more.
Mhm.
And I think they did what I asked them for, like more than anything, to give it all, and more to the seniors. I think I
Mhm.
always try to remember them, or like to tell them that, hey, it's one of the last few games here.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
And
for sure.
They always give me that look, like, hey, coach, calm down, like, please.
We'll get there when we get there.
But now I told
Yeah.
him today in the morning. I told Johnny after the weights that it's almost what 4 more weeks maybe
Mhm.
to end the district and
Mhm.
hopefully go into playoffs. And he was like, "Coach, don't tell me that."
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
like, but I told him since the first days of practice, I told him that, hey, this is the state championship. Like in a way, I would always vision myself
Mhm.
winning it with the team, and I always tell them like, hey, like close your eyes and try to see like how your senior year could end.
Mhm.
and I always tell them this could be the cherry on the top.
Yeah.
That's where Johnny and Alex will be like with their
Yeah.
watery eyes, like,
Little
hey,
emotional. Yeah.
emotional, like,
Because
hopefully.
because it's such a unique group.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I told we talked about it before, is that not a lot of people can say they've been to a state championship the first 3 years of their high school career, let alone go every single year.
I know.
So it's a very very special
Mhm.
senior group, and we talked about this before with the young guys. That, yes, they're freshmen, but like I said, the cool thing about here at St. Joe is they were here in seventh and eighth
Mhm.
grade. They go to the soccer games. Their
Mhm.
brothers are on the teams. I mean, Emmy
Mhm.
was
Yeah,
hanging.
Emiliano, yeah.
Emmy last few years, he would hang out with us,
Mhm.
at dinner, at the
Mhm.
hotel, and he was just a little junior high kid. But point being is he sees the expectations, they see the trips, and yeah, it's a good thing to just kind of just step back and look. And then for the seniors, it's gets a little extra emotional,
Yes.
because you played obviously,
Mhm.
and then obviously you won state your senior year, so it's you know exactly
How it feels.
how it feels.
Yes.
I never not even close to winning state, but I played sports in high school, and
Yes.
yeah, it can get to that point where it's starting to get the emotions start
Yeah.
to kind of kick in, for the seniors. But
Mhm.
still a lot of work to do.
Yes,
Still
of course.
quite a ways to go. San Antonio Christian, they picked up a win earlier this week
Mhm.
on Tuesday. Westlaco on Friday. Now that the team will pivot to San Antonio St. Anthony's tomorrow,
Mhm.
and then the St. Mary's game got moved from Saturday to Wednesday
To Wednesday of
next week on the
Yes.
28th. So
28th.
1 and 3 o'clock
Mhm.
on the pitch. So St. Anthony's, respectfully, it's a game that this St. Joe can just get back on track.
Mhm.
So hopefully tomorrow is what I like to call the get right games
Yes.
for us.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you don't want to fall into the trap game,
Yeah.
so to
More than
speak,
anything.
to where like it's gonna be easy. We can go
Mhm.
in, win, and then
Yeah.
you start looking too far ahead
Too far ahead.
to
Yes,
St.
sir.
Mary's.
Mhm.
So what's gonna be the attack with practice today, and given that tomorrow you got a road trip.
Yeah, more than anything, like we were mentioning, some of the boys are kind of injured. So
Mhm.
today we're doing not so light, but I think just planning on the game for tomorrow.
Mhm.
Like like I told Profe Medina and Leo, we try to not think ahead,
Mhm.
because sometimes things like this could happen. Like
Yeah.
maybe we could lose.
Mhm.
So always we try to respect who we're going against with, and we go from there. Today we have more things to practice.
Mhm.
I think add more options on certain things that we've been doing good, but sometimes like the game with Sacks, right?
Mhm.
They were already waiting
Yeah.
for many things that we were doing, like our throw ins and things like that.
Mhm.
So I
Absolutely.
gotta change it up for the
Yeah.
coach.
Absolutely.
But
Well, tomorrow's your first true road trip.
yes,
You
to San
excited?
Antonio. Yes, I'm excited. Hopefully
Yeah.
everything goes good and we
Yeah.
come back good.
Yeah.
And with the
Absolutely.
win more than anything.
Absolutely, yes, yeah. St. Anthony's, it's cool.
Mhm.
Eventually, we'll hit all the different schools.
Mhm.
And that's the unique thing. I was visiting some family this weekend, and they're just like, man, so like, who does St. Joe play?
Mhm.
X, Y, and Z. And I was like, well, a bulk of the games, all their district games are on the road. And they're
Mhm.
like, wow. It's like, yeah, it can be taxing. It can be
Yes.
taxing. And what I mentioned Tuesday with the game against Sax was that we've been very fortunate to have all our home games at home,
Yes.
um, leading up to the St. Mary's to the
Mhm.
St. Anthony's game. But then the road trips are gonna come,
Yes,
and
I
then
know.
that's gonna be the hard part. But nonetheless, I think the team's in a good spot. Um, Outside of St. Anthony's on Tuesday, again the team will have the rest of the week off.
Mhm.
You can kind of call it a bye week, if you will. What's the plan for the rest of the week?
Try to get the boys right. Like I said, the injured ones, try to see if we could get them back in time, and try to like I said, practice more things,
Mhm.
more different things. I think it gives us a little bit of chance and time to work on that, and probably give the boys another perspective
Mhm.
of what else they could do in the field, and more opportunities, more chances.
Mhm.
Because the more chances we have, or the more different options,
Right.
it's the better for them. Because
Right.
soccer is kind of
Mhm.
like that. So
How have we're like I said, we're fixing to get to the halfway point of the
Mhm.
district season. How have the boys adapted to the new style of play? Do you feel that they fully adapted to where they know, the language and just the strategy part of it? Have they adjusted to it?
Yeah, they have just a really good. I think
Mhm.
more than anything, they know they like to score, right?
Mhm.
So that's what I tell them. I always try to put many exercises that implement that.
Mhm.
Shooting, crossing the ball, heading, things like that. So they kind of get what we want.
Mhm.
And more defensively, I think what helped us a lot was that tournament in Santa Maria. I
Mhm.
think the air, they
Yeah.
knew we couldn't go attack too much,
Yeah.
but they adjusted really well, like in the defense part of it.
Absolutely.
Like at some points, everyone was there at the goalie, like, hey, heading it or
Yeah.
trying to send it out. But that's what helped us. And like I said, I go back to that the experience. I think
Mhm.
that's what's been helping this team get to where we're at the
Right.
moment.
Absolutely. And at least in my opinion, I don't think this team has started clicking yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best is yet to come. For this team. And like I said, there's still a lot of time in district play. We still have St. Anthony's and St. Mary's Hall, and then coming in this week and next week, and then we wrap up, and then we get ready for the second half of district play. So there's still quite a ways to go.
Yes, sir. It's a lot.
Absolutely. How's everything been though? Everything's good.
Yes.
Everything with practice, and it's everything you've expected it to be.
No, at first, not really. It was like I was like, oh, what's gonna happen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But now at this point, everything's becoming really
Yeah.
not easy, but
Yeah.
it's falling into place,
Yeah.
as we go.
Mhm.
And more than anything, for me, in my part, it's just knowing the teams that we're going against.
Mhm.
So I think finishing this, like you said, this little loop of the first district games, I
Mhm.
think I'm gonna know
Yeah.
how to
For sure.
fix it
For
as we
sure.
go. But hopefully we get that playoff spot more than anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, so in boys soccer, 4 teams make the playoffs.
Mhm.
So, if the season ended today, the Bloodhounds would finish as the 3 seed.
Mhm.
Victoria St. Joe would be the 4, St. Mary's 2nd,
Mhm.
and Sacs 1st if the season were to end today.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm excited to see the result of that Sacs St. Mary's matchup.
Yes.
I think we can say we're gonna have to root for St. Mary's
Yes.
for the
same here.
parity for the parity and the race of the district.
Yes.
We would need St. Mary's to win,
Mhm.
and then we would all, or
We'll
us
have
and
a
Sacs would have a loss,
Yes.
and then we would have an opportunity next week
St. Mary's.
against St. Mary's here at home. That's the key,
Yeah,
is that
that's
the
the key.
team will be able to have it here at home. So, Coach, any final thoughts?
No, everything good. I think just we're getting ready, and I think, like you said, it's just getting started, right? As we go, and hopefully everything comes good.
Absolutely. So tomorrow the Bloodhounds will be on the road at San Antonio St. Anthony's, and then they will have the rest of the week off, and then they will pivot and get ready for the St. Mary's Hall matchup Wednesday the 28th here at home. The JV at 1, the varsity at 3. That'll be a pivotal matchup here at Canales Field. So I encourage everyone to come out next week and support the Bloodhounds. So, Coach, we got liturgy here in a couple minutes. So that's why we started an hour early. And just had to get our shows in, and that way we can accommodate with the liturgy schedule. So we will be back next Monday, back at our scheduled times at 10 and 10:30, starting with double dribble at 10 a.m. 10:30 with On the Pitch with Coach Edward Rojas. Baseball season did start, so behind the scenes with Coach Steven Nájera, that'll be coming very soon. Also, we're kind of in the works. Coach Alex Cortez is the golf coach. He's like, hey, like, do you think we could get a golf show? I said, why not, man? Like, I'm in.
That would be good. Yes.
I'm in. So now, like,
Hopefully.
with you, I was like, we got to come up with a catchy name. so we're in the works with our coach.
For the
Alex
golf.
our golf coach Alex Cortez. So just more
That'll be
things
good.
to look forward to as the winter sports wrap up, and then we head into the final stretch of spring sports. But again, a special thank you to Miss Amanda and everyone here in the Bloodhound Cafe. That'll wrap up our show of Double Dribble with Coach Sammy Lucio and On the Pitch with Coach Edward Rojas. We will see you guys next week.
Permatemp Personnel Services has been servicing local businesses for the past 29 years.
Leave the hiring to us. Let us become your personal hiring